Welcome to the GNM Live Studio channel. I'm Sid Jacobs. I've been at the Musicians Institute for a long time, for 30 years, and I've just started over at the Swarnabhoomi Academy of Music in India, and I'll be heading up the jazz guitar lesson series here at the GNM channel. Today, this discussion is going to be called May the Fourths Be With You, because I'm talking about quartal harmony. That's the term quartal, meaning fourth harmony. When I first discovered fourths, it opened things up. I was into modal playing, and this type of harmony is different than our traditional harmony. These chords don't necessarily have names. People call them sus chords for lack of better names, but fourth chords. And I could entertain myself with this sound for hours, but I couldn't necessarily entertain other people. But when I've discovered that I could do the same thing that I did with triads, in other words, invert them, little more interesting shapes came about. So to explain what I'm talking about, a fourth is A, B, C, D. A to D is a fourth. D, E, F, G. G is a fourth. So if we think every fourth letter, that's a fourth interval. A, D, G. They're not always perfect, but in this case, they happen to be. So sometimes fourths are augmented or diminished, but there's a perfect fourth, A, D, G. Now, if we invert it, we have D, G, A, G, A, D, A, D, G. So that's all the same three notes, A, G, D, A, D, G, D, G. So it's amazing how much mileage you can get out of three notes. Now, if I want to get this chromatic type vocabulary with fourths, I take the inversion. So that's just playing with the first inversion, the second inversion, there's the root position. And this randomly shifting between the two of them as I go up. So that gives me different colors. So interesting ways to chromatically shift. But the fourth chord itself is quite flexible because the A, D, and the G, it could be part of give me a C major 6/9. Off A, it gives me the it gives me the F major 6/9 as well. Off B flat, there's a major 7th, and there's the 3rd, and then there's the 6th. Off E flat, the same three notes gives me the E flat major 7 flat 5. And we go on, we could try this with every single note of the scale, and the fourth will find a home. So we find new ways to hear using fourths. Now, when we look at it in terms of minor thirds, if I go 3-note chords in minor thirds, it gives me all 12 tones. If I go 4-note chords in major thirds, it gives me all 12 tones. Interesting fourth patterns, at least to me interesting. I guess interesting is a relative word, but if I take a fourth interval in whole steps, that gives me all 12 tones because there's no fourth interval in the whole tone scale. So there's a fourth pattern that gives all 12 tones. This cumbersome See, C, F, B flat, then the next fourth would be E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G. Now I just said the whole cycle of fourths, which gives us all 12 notes. So one way to make it less pattern sounding is to go forward, one shape, backward, forward, or take this and invert it. Now I have made a little 12-tone pattern. So that's a version of that. And then there's that fourth chord with the inversion. So, fun with fourths. May the fourths be with you. If you want to know more about this series, please visit gnmguitars.com and look for our educational system, and I look forward to seeing you there.